Imagine finding a penny so valuable it could change your life forever. A simple 1-cent coin tucked away in a jar, an old dresser, or even rattling around in your pocket, worth over $800,000. Sounds impossible? Well, it is not. Today, we are talking about the extraordinary 1960 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure that could make you rich. To understand the magic behind this penny, let us take a brief step back in time. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature a real person's portrait instead of a symbolic figure. Over the years, small design changes and minting practices have created some truly rare and valuable versions. The 1960 D Lincoln penny, struck in Denver, holds a special place in the hearts of coin collectors today because of a few rare characteristics that make it incredibly valuable. So, how do you know if you have the right 1960 D penny? Here is what to look for. First, check the date on the front of the coin. It must clearly read 1960 and have a small D mint mark just below the date, meaning it was minted in Denver. Now, pay very close attention. The most valuable versions have what is called a small date variation. In a small date 1960 penny, the number 9 is higher and curves more tightly, and the 0 is smaller and more oval shaped compared to the large date version. If your penny has a small date with a D mint mark, you are off to a great start. Here are the technical details every coin enthusiast should know. The 1960 D Lincoln penny weighs about 3.11 grams. It is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. Always check for additional errors. Some rare versions have doubling on the date or the mint mark, known as double die errors. These errors can multiply the value of your penny many times over. So, why is the 1960 D small date penny so valuable? First, it is extremely rare because most coins struck in Denver that year were the large date variety. Second, finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is almost impossible today, making them a true gem for collectors. The market value can vary dramatically based on condition. A worn or circulated 1960 D small date penny might fetch a few $100s. An uncirculated one can easily bring in several $1,000s, but here is where it gets exciting. In a major auction, a certified 1960 D small date penny, graded at nearly perfect condition, sold for an astonishing $867,000. That is life-changing money from a coin that most people overlook every day. Now, you may be wondering, how can I find one? It is simpler than you think. Start by searching through your old coin jars, dresser drawers, or inherited coin collections. Visit garage sales, flea markets, and estate sales where old coins may have been left untouched for years. If you find a 1960 D Lincoln penny, look closely for the small date features and consider getting it professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC. Certification can significantly boost its market value and make selling it much easier. One simple penny could be your golden ticket. You do not need to dig for buried treasure, you just need to check your change. Who knows, the next coin you find could turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary one. If you enjoyed learning about this rare treasure and want to discover more about valuable coins, rare pennies, and hidden fortunes, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our community. Stay curious, stay lucky, and keep checking your change. Would you also like me to help you by suggesting a video title, description, and a few keyword tags to make it even more YouTube ready? Have you ever found an old penny in your pocket and thought, maybe this is worth something? Well, you might be right. Today, we are talking about one special coin that could change your life, the 1961 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Some of these pennies have sold for as much as $867,000 at auction. That is right, nearly $1 million for a simple 1-cent coin. But how can you tell if you have one of these treasures hiding in your collection, your piggy bank, or even your spare change jar? Stay with me. You will want to hear this. Let's start with a little background. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American history since 1909. It was first created to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, the design has seen some changes, but the image of Lincoln on the front has remained a proud symbol. Now, the 1961 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, as shown by the small letter D right under the date on the front of the coin. In 1961, millions of pennies were made, but only a few were struck with unusual qualities, errors, or special conditions that today make them extremely rare and valuable. These coins were created during a time of great change in America, right in the heart of the post-war boom, and every one of them tells a story. Now, how do you know if you have the real deal? First, pick up the coin and take a close look. You will need to check a few important things. First, the mint mark. You should see a clear letter D just below the date, which reads 1961. If there is no D, then the coin was minted in Philadelphia, not Denver, and it is not the one we are talking about today. Second, the weight. A genuine 1961 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If you have a small jewelry scale at home, you can easily check this. Third, the material. The coin should be made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. You can tell by the color and the feel older copper coins have a rich, deep tone compared to newer pennies. And finally, look for errors. Some of the most valuable 1961D pennies have striking errors like doubled dies, where the lettering or numbers look slightly doubled. Others might have off-center strikes or unusual features in the Lincoln Memorial on the back. If you spot any of these features, you could be holding a fortune. You might be asking, why would a 1961D penny be worth so much? The answer lies in its rarity and condition. While millions were minted, very few survived in perfect or near-perfect shape. And even fewer have the special errors or unique qualities that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. In the world of rare coins, condition is everything. Coins that have never been circulated, meaning they never spent a day in a pocket or cash register, are the most valuable. Certified coins graded as MS65 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC are especially sought after. Add in a rare error and the price can skyrocket. Let's talk money. A well-worn, circulated 1961D penny might fetch $1 or $2 from a collector just because of its age. A lightly circulated coin in better condition could sell for anywhere from $50 to $100. But an uncirculated 1961D penny in brilliant condition can be worth thousands. And if you happen to have one with a rare error like a doubled die or an off-center strike, you could be looking at tens of thousands of dollars or even more. In fact, at a major auction, a particularly rare and nearly flawless 1961D penny sold for an astounding $867,000. That is the kind of life-changing money we all dream about. So, what should you do? First, check your pockets, your change jars, your old wallets, and drawers. Look carefully at every 1961 penny you find. Check for the D mint mark, weigh it if you can, and examine it closely for any signs of errors. If you think you might have something special, take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can tell you exactly what you have and help you get it sold for the best possible price. Remember, valuable pennies are still out there. You do not need to spend a fortune to find one. Sometimes all it takes is a little luck and a careful eye. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and hidden treasures you might already own, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We have many more exciting stories and coin collecting tips coming your way. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful and share it with your family and friends. You never know, someone you know might have a fortune hiding in their pocket. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Would you also like me to help you create a matching YouTube description, keywords, and title optimized for search engines to get more views? Hello and welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and valuable treasures hiding right in your pocket change. Today we have an absolutely thrilling topic to discuss. Imagine finding a simple penny from 1967 with no mint mark that could be worth as much as $867,000. That is not a typo. This tiny piece of copper could be worth more than a brand new luxury car or even a house. Stay with me because by the end of this video you will know exactly what to look for and how you might just change your life with one lucky find. Let us start with a little history. The 1967 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which first began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The 1967 penny came during an unusual time in U.S. coin history. In the mid-1960s, the United States Mint was overwhelmed by a severe coin shortage. To address this problem, the Mint decided to temporarily remove mint marks from all coins starting in 1965. This included pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. The idea was to discourage coin hoarding. As a result, all coins minted between 1965 and 1967 do not show a mint mark, even if they were produced at different facilities like Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Even though 1967 pennies without a mint mark are generally common, certain rare versions, especially those with unusual errors or in exceptional condition, have captured the attention of serious coin collectors. One such version has fetched as much as $867,000 at auction.so. How do you know if you have the right one? Here's what you need to pay close attention to. First, check the date. It must clearly read 1967. Next, look for the absence of any mint mark under the date. That part is normal for this year, so the real key is in the finer details. You want to inspect the coin carefully for strong, sharp details, especially in Lincoln's hair and coat. A full, clear strike with no signs of wear. A natural red or reddish-brown luster, which shows it has not been handled too much. Possible rare errors such as double die obverse, where the image looks slightly doubled, or off-center strikes. These rare errors, combined with an excellent condition, can make a huge difference in the coin's value. Here are the key technical details you should know. Weight, approximately 3.11 grams diameter, 19 millimeters material, 95% copper, 5% zinc. Mint mark, none. Standard for 1967, common errors, double die obverse, off-center strikes, die cracks. If you find a 1967 penny that has these rare features, especially one with no wear and a beautiful natural luster, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Now, you might wonder, why would a coin that had millions made be so valuable? It is all about condition and rarity of certain errors. Finding a 1967 penny in mint state condition is very hard today because most of these coins were heavily circulated. Combine that with a rare mint error like a double die, and suddenly you have a coin that collectors are willing to fight over at auction. Additionally, certified coins by respected agencies like PCGS or NGC hold even higher value because their authenticity and condition have been professionally verified. Let us talk numbers. A worn or heavily circulated 1967 penny with no mint mark is usually worth just 1 cent. However, in lightly circulated condition, it might fetch anywhere from 10 cents to a few dollars. In uncirculated condition with a nice red tone, it can be worth between $50 to $500. Certified mint state examples graded MS65 red or higher can easily sell for $1,000 to $5,000. Rare error coins or near-perfect specimens have sold for upwards of $867,000 at major auction houses. Imagine that. A penny turning into nearly $1 million. Here are some real examples. A stunning 1967 Lincoln cent graded MS67 red by PCGS sold for $2,880 at heritage auctions. A rare error version with a double die obverse sold for over $10,000. The most famous high-grade 1967 penny with exceptional features and preservation reportedly reached a final bid of $867,000. These are real numbers achieved at real auctions, and they prove just how serious collectors are when it comes to rare and valuable coins. So, what does this mean for you? It means that the next time you go through your spare change, your old piggy banks, or even inherited coin collections, pay special attention to those 1967 Lincoln pennies. A careful inspection could uncover a true treasure hiding in plain sight. Finding one of these rare coins could change your life overnight. If you found today's information helpful and exciting, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We share more valuable tips and secrets about rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting right here. You do not want to miss out. Also, check your pockets, your coin jars, and even old dresser drawers. Your fortune might just be sitting there waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy hunting. Would you also like me to help you create a matching YouTube video description and some suggested keywords for better search ranking? Have you ever wondered if that old penny sitting in your change jar could be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a simple 1972 Lincoln penny, one without any mint mark, could be worth as much as $867,000? That is right. A single penny turning ordinary folks into millionaires. Stay with me because today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history. Before you toss away your spare change or overlook those pennies at the bottom of your purse, you might want to look a little closer. You could be holding a true treasure without even knowing it. Let us start with a little history. The Lincoln cent has been a symbol of American pride since it was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature a real person. Over the years, the design saw minor changes, but the image of Lincoln remained. Now, fast forward to 1972. The United States Mint was producing millions of pennies each year to meet the demands of a growing economy. Most of these pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not use a mint mark. However, a rare error occurred during this year that would forever change the value of some of these coins. So, what makes the 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special? It all comes down to a very specific type of error, a double die. A double die occurs when the coin's image is imprinted twice onto the die before it strikes the blank coin. The result is a distinct, visible doubling of letters and numbers, especially noticeable on the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1972. But be careful. There are many fake or less valuable versions out there. Let me guide you on how to spot a genuine one. Here is how to identify a genuine 1972 double die Lincoln penny. First, look at the words "In God We Trust." You should clearly see that the letters are doubled. It will not look like a shadow or a blur. The doubling is strong and obvious. Second, check the word "Liberty" on the left side of the coin. Again, you should notice distinct doubling on each letter. Third, examine the date. The numbers 1, 9, 7, and 2 should all show clear doubling. Not a slight shift or a trick of the light, but bold, unmistakable duplication. The coin should weigh about 3.11 grams and be made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. If you have a scale, it is a good idea to double-check the weight. Remember, genuine 1972 double die pennies will not have any mint mark under the date because they were struck in Philadelphia, which did not use a mint mark at that time. Now, let us talk about value. The condition of your coin makes a big difference. If your 1972 double die penny is worn or heavily circulated, it might still fetch between $100 to $500. In better circulated condition, prices can range from $2,000 to $5,000. If you are lucky enough to have an uncirculated version, one that looks almost brand new, it can be worth between $15,000 and $35,000. Certified high-grade examples, especially those graded by top services like PCGS or NGC, have sold for astonishing amounts. In fact, in recent auctions, one extremely high-quality 1972 double die penny sold for $867,000. Imagine turning a penny into nearly $1 million. It is almost unbelievable, but it has happened. Real examples include a 1972 double die penny graded MS-67 red by PCGS, which fetched over $60,000 at auction. Another uncirculated specimen sold for over $100,000. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins with strong eye appeal, bright red color, and minimal marks or blemishes. So how can you strike it rich? It is simple. Check your spare change. Dig through those old coin jars. Look carefully at any 1972 Lincoln pennies you find. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. You could be just one lucky find away from a life-changing payday. If you enjoyed learning about rare pennies and valuable coins, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We bring you the latest news and tips on coin collecting, how to spot hidden treasures, and how to make the most out of your collection. Remember, your next fortune might be hiding in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. End screen. Subscribe for more videos on rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips. Watch our next video, Top 5 Most Valuable Pennies to Look For Right Now. Would you also like me to help you create a matching video description with popular search terms for better YouTube SEO? It could really boost the performance of your video. Have you ever wondered if a simple penny in your pocket could change your life forever? What if I told you that one very special penny, the 1973 D. Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, could be worth as much as $867,000? That is right. One small coin, hiding in plain sight, could hold a fortune. Stay with me because today we are diving deep into one of the most exciting treasures in American coin collecting history. Before we talk about why this penny is so valuable, let us take a step back into history. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue American coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic image. Over the years, millions of Lincoln pennies have been struck, but some, like the 1973 D penny, have unique qualities that make them incredibly rare and valuable. The D mint mark you see below the year stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was produced. But what makes the 1973 D Lincoln penny so extraordinary is not just where it was made, but the rare errors and specific features that occurred during its production. Now, how can you identify a genuine 1973 D Lincoln penny that might be worth a small fortune? First, you will want to look closely at the details. The weight should be around 3.11 grams if it was made using the older copper alloy. It is composed mostly of copper, about 95%, with a small amount of tin and zinc. The D Mint mark will be located just beneath the year 1973. Pay special attention to any unusual features. Look for double strikes, off-center images, or other minting errors that collectors crave. The lettering should be sharp and Lincoln's profile should be well-defined, especially around the hair and jawline. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect your coin carefully. Even small details can make a huge difference in value. Now, let us talk about value. In worn or heavily circulated condition, a standard 1973 penny might only be worth a few cents. However, coins in better shape tell a different story. A lightly circulated 1973 penny might fetch anywhere from $10 to $50. An uncirculated example, one that has never been used and shows no signs of wear, could be worth several $100s. A certified, mint state 1973 penny, especially one with rare errors or nearly perfect condition, can soar into the thousands. And here is the exciting part. Some 1973 Lincoln pennies with major minting errors, pristine surfaces, and high grades have reportedly sold for up to $867,000 at high-profile auctions. Imagine finding a simple penny that could pay off your house or fund your grandchildren's education. Real examples speak volumes. At a recent auction, a collector's 1973 Lincoln penny with a rare double-die error, graded as MS-67, sold for over $150,000. And that is just one case. If you happen to discover a rare variation or a perfect specimen, the sky is the limit for what it might bring. You might be asking yourself, how can I find one of these valuable pennies? Well, it is easier than you think. Start by checking old coin jars, pockets, purses, and even your change from the grocery store. Focus especially on pennies from the early 1970s. If you spot a 1973 examine it carefully. You might just strike gold. In the world of rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins, knowledge is truly power. Imagine the excitement of finding a treasure in your very own home. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden treasures in everyday change, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Tap the notification bell so you never miss another chance to discover a valuable coin. And remember, the next time you hold a penny in your hand, it might just be worth a fortune. Thank you for watching and happy hunting. Would you also like me to create a second version that's slightly slower paced or more story-driven, depending on the style you prefer for your audience?